Thanks everyone for joining us today. I'm John Tai. I'm one of the co-founders of Hatch Duo.
And I'm Mike Yim. I'm the other co-founder of Hatch Duo.
And today we have a very special guest, Thomas Fields, CEO of Grind Basketball, a man on a mission not only to make basketball training accessible, but also to uplift his community and have access to the same opportunities that he had growing up. And from sheer determination to be the best, he created Grind, the world's first basketball shooting machine that is portable and you can fold it into a duffel bag for easy on-the-go training.
Thanks, Mike, John. Appreciate you guys having me on. I'm really excited. I'm kind of modest fan, but Thomas Fields, founder and CEO of Grind, worked with John and Mike at the very early days when we were just getting off the ground. It's pretty safe to say that we're a real company and we're shipping real products out. So yeah, it's awesome. So a little bit about myself. I was originally a basketball player. I like to say an elite basketball player, kind of ranked in the country, played high school ball here in Houston, Texas. And then fell short by tearing my ACL. So I had 4 knee surgeries, ACL surgeries before graduating high school. And really that kind of cut my dreams short of like playing in the NBA and playing, professionally. So I kind of turned my efforts into like a huge problem that I had as an athlete, which was not having access to the absolute best training equipment, right? So a thing called a shooting machine, 400-pound, $10,000 machine that NBA players use. I really wanted to use it as a high school player. I felt like it could accelerate my training and my skill level. And I never had access to it. They were too expensive, right? So knowing that I had to kind of change my career path, not making it to play professionally, I turned to engineering and started, welding in my parents' garage, building the first prototypes. And the concept was to design products specifically for athletes. So we're starting with the first portable shooting machine designed for your home. So it's a 12-foot tall machine, grabs all your rebounds as a basketball player, automatically passes the ball back out to you, giving you a great chest pass at the three-point line, and allows you to shoot up to like 1,000 shots an hour. So really compelling product. And yeah, I worked with Hatch Duo on bringing this to life.
The first thing I noticed when we first started working together was your logo. And till this day, it hasn't changed. And what I noticed very distinctly about the logo is that the end sort of disappears into the background. And I was wondering if you could talk a little bit about, stepping back a little bit from the product itself, looking at your logo and the branding.
Love that.
Talk a little bit about the Grind logo and the story behind it.
100%, yeah. And the Grind logo came before the product. So you're absolutely right. That was before everything. The brand was first. And I was very focused on creating a brand, not just a product, right? Because I felt like athletes wanted a brand. We didn't want just a product. We wanted a company that cared about us and designed for us, right? So the logo meant a lot to me, right? And the name also meant a lot to me. I'm being from Houston. A lot of the Houston culture and Houston rap, has the word grind in it all the time. Either grinding on their rap music or just grinding and working really hard to get and accomplish something, accomplish a goal, right? So, Slim Thug and Paul Wall and all these guys that talk about grinding all night, trying to reach my dreams and stuff like that. Fat, Lil Kiki, all these guys from Houston would use it in their rap. So I was big into that culture, into Houston culture, and I just kind of wanted to use that authenticity from where I came from and put it into a technology company. So took the word grind, and obviously we use it as basketball players, putting in work and training every single day. So it resonated. But the logo came specifically, it was inspired by Nike, so I wanted it simple, but also wanted it to be very different and distinctive. So the N is missing, and what it represents is the work that nobody sees separates the good from the great. And the N is missing because he's out in the back putting in work.
So did you design the logo yourself?
Yeah, I did. I actually designed it in our tech accelerator, our first technology accelerator.
Thomas is coming a long way from developing Grind, from starting out in a garage, learning how to weld. I remember you were working at YMCA while you were working with us trying to develop the Grind machine. To have your own warehouse now and a team to support production, it's clear you've put in the hours to raise the product and company up.
Can you maybe like give the audience a glimpse as to like how we kind of met and how you came into contact with Hatch Duo and why you ended up, working with us?
Yeah, so I love this story. I was working at the YMCA from 5 o'clock in the morning to 9 a.m. and all I would do was work on Grind. Yeah, I came across something that Hatch Duo had made. I think it was the Elite Defender. And I was actually looking for design firms because I'm over here trying to like get inspiration and then take it back to the garage and do it myself, right? With no engineering background. I think I'm like 19, 20 years old at the time. So I'm like looking for design companies and I come across Hatch Duo and I think I sent you guys an email. I spoke to John. I remember pacing back and forth during me and John's meeting. I was on the phone with John and I'm like in the back of the YMCA trying to like brush people off because they're calling me to go clean something. There's John, your background, you play basketball, so it kind of resonated. Hit it off from there. You guys were willing to work with us and kind of invest in us as, we got that funding and like put it towards design and engineering and professional services. So we were able to kind of make it happen. It was definitely like a milestone that we hit. And you could say, some can say it was small, but like without Hatch Duo, we don't get the farm, to like that perfect mode that we were supposed to get into, right? We don't get the one motion opening structure like we get to, right? So, and we still use those things today. So I think customers love it, and having design at the center of like our process was, huge.
I remember that day when you reached out. It was like through Instagram actually. And Hatch Duo, I think we were in our first or second year just starting. We're like, hey, let's start posting our work on Instagram because like no other design firms are really doing that. I remember Mike telling me like, dude, no one's looking for design work on Instagram. And sure enough, there's like a DM from you. And I remember like how well like we connected like on the basketball thing, and then Mike and you were connecting on like, engineering and welding. And so Thomas was like one of our very first clients here at Hatch Duo. And I just remember like, it wasn't even like a client kind of relation. And I know that sounds like cliche, but we really felt like we were working with like a friend, like the relationship we had while we worked, and just, transparency, just working through stuff. Like, I think it was pretty awesome.
We made do what we had.
100% agree. I think that's spot on, man.
You were learning to weld in your garage and you were building these prototypes. And then I remember when you started engaging with Hatch Duo, you also built a small team of your own. Like you had, college interns for industrial design and also mechanical engineering. And then you also had us as mechanical engineers to help you design the mechanism. Could you talk about what it was like working solo and tinkering in your garage to building a team?
Thinking back on those early days, man, it was extremely hard because I had like, the only money I had coming in was like from the YMCA or Raising Cane's or restaurant or something, right? So I was putting that all towards like Home Depot parts and bolts and trying to like welding machines from Granger that cost like $50, right? It's just like small things that I was putting together. So I didn't have money to pay like a full-time engineer. I mean, we finally were able to like get you guys on board and get our first investment. Getting an intern, I was just extremely hungry and extremely scrappy and like willing to do anything that it took to be successful, right? Make sure that Grind was successful. So I passed out flyers for internships, had access to 3D printers and laser cutters and plasma cutters. So my value proposition to them was, hey, you guys can build a real product and learn these things. And the value that I would get is help on the machine. I've always viewed myself as like, I don't want to be the smartest person in the room. And I want to surround myself with extremely talented, smart people, brilliant people. So a lot of the times we kind of felt like I was the worker and they were the designers, or we were both designing and I was constantly trying to manage them and kind of herd cats to go in this one direction. I had to roll up my sleeves and I went to go weld and pull out the drill and figure out how to like put it together. Those guys were able to kind of put it on the computer, get the tolerances right, and essentially get it ready for you guys, right? And help provide what Hatch Duo needed so much, right? Because you guys brought this professional level of expertise, a more robust and professional way, organized way of like working and building products. So it was like a very scrappy, humble way of trying to do it.
Was there ever a point where that problem that you guys encountered was so significant that you guys had thought, hey man, we can't get through this, and it was almost at the point you'd want to give up?
Absolutely, yeah. We called Hatch Duo. There was 2 issues, man. And I remember I was like on the 3rd year of starting Grind, and I had got my 3rd job, literally still working at the YMCA. I'm working a night shift now. So I got an early morning shift and a night shift. My night shift was shoveling mud out of the car wash trench. But I remember being super bummed because our catapult arm that passes the ball was only lasting like 10 to 20 shots, and it would break, right?
Yeah.
And we could not figure it out. And it was the hardest, most frustrating thing because it was something that wasn't metal, right? It was a different material that required specific expertise and very detailed, precise designing that I just didn't have the background to do. Ellie didn't have the background to do, and we were just kind of fed up with it. And the stability of the machine was really tough for us. Making it work, we got it to that point, but it was bare bones, and it wasn't like a great experience. So now we had to rework this functionality kind of problem and make it into something that was a great user experience, and that was hard. So we took those 2 problems. We were just constantly fighting with them day by day, month by month, and yeah, Hatch Duo came in and we were like, look guys, we need these 2 issues solved, right? And it was great for us because we could continue working on the functionality, the passing, the internals, and all that stuff. And it gave you guys specific things to work on, right? It's not just working on the entire product. It's like, all right, this is vital and this is vital. So it helped out with like where we were focusing our energy as an internal team and as the Hatch Duo team.
Yeah. The fact that you guys came with us with like really good bones to start with, it set a really good foundation for us to work off of. Although we did some of the work, I think you guys did most of the lifting, and all we did was we came in and we refined it. I think there was another problem there that I wanted to highlight that we sort of helped you guys with, which was, the ball kept falling out once it was going down the funnel, and then sometimes like maybe 1 or 2 out of 5 balls would fall out of the arm. I was like, it would be really helpful because the bottom of the funnel needed some structure. And I suggested, hey, maybe try like this bumper or a guard to sort of keep the ball, to sort of catch the ball, right? And you guys like quickly produced a prototype, mocked it up, and then like it turned out that it worked. And you guys, till this day, it's in production, right?
Dude, to this day, man, me and Elliot will come up with the ideas, and we're like, yeah, remember what Mike said or what John said? Like, remember that idea that he had? Like, and then we just take that idea and we tweak it a little bit, and we take the learning from, even to this day. Like the other day, we had this conversation, brought up old ideas that we were bouncing off the wall back then. So, I do remember the rail as well. So.
Mm-hmm.
This felt like it was a collaboration more. Like it wasn't like, hey, we're just delivering solutions to you on the silver platter and we're just holier than thou and follow our advice. It was like, hey, like let's work together on this. Your engineers were working with our engineers and designers, and et cetera. So it was almost as if like we were kind of part of your team.
That's what we loved about it, right? And I think in the early days, one of our first conversations, I got one of our first investors on the line, right? Zahid. And he was kind of like a business advisor, mentor to me. And once he met you guys, I mean, it was like the professionalism was there, the expertise was there. And then the way you guys were approaching the whole interaction, it was very professional, but it was also like, hey, these guys are willing to kind of work with us as well and integrate with us, right? And he felt great about it. I mean, he knew I felt great about it, so he was able to kind of put that cash forward and kind of make it happen for us. And yeah, it was huge for us.
Let's hatch, awesome.